Can you talk about some of the tools and software that you're using?
Yeah, so we use ServiceNow as our main ITSM tool. And again, ServiceNow, from certainly from my experience, is one of the only tool sets I've used that has actually got dedicated functionality to, you know, for major incidents. It's not something that I've seen elsewhere, and it's something that I'd like to see, some of the other tool sets really, really spend some time on, because what they've put in place in ServiceNow, which I think which is what they call the Major Incident Workbench. It's almost like a little add-on to the incident management process, where you can actually propose a major incident, accept it, reject it, and you're no longer just relying on having a P1 as a major incident and not knowing the difference between a P1 and a major incident if there is one. So I think along with that, you have a dedicated workbench, which whilst you're in the incident that you have made into a major incident, is a one-click button, which then changes your screen so that you can see basically everything that you need to see all in one screen. You can see your communication tasks, which tell me which communication needs to go out next and how long I have to do it. So we have a 15-minute timer from when the incident is turned it into a major incident to send out our first lot of communications to say.
Glad to hear it. Definitely in line with best practice. 15 minutes from
And then once that one's completed, it will then start off the next one, which is the regular update, whether it's every hour or whatever you've agreed, basically.
Yeah.
And that will keep ticking and keep ticking until you want to send out the third comms, which is normally your resolution comms. And again, as well as having that on the screen, you can see the on-call rotors. So it will tell you which on-call teams you have access to and who's currently on call and how to contact them. You can see all of the incident notes, the business impact. It's all there readily available, and it's just not something that I've seen before. So it was a no-brainer for me to really try and utilize that.
Yeah, I mean, as an industry, obviously major incident management's existed in various forms for a long time. But yeah, for some reason, particularly ITSM tool providers who had seen the natural fit, never really enabled or empowered functions properly. And yeah, there's still not that much of it. Obviously, and obviously we've talked lots about this, but there's a major incident software provider ecosystem now. There's not a lot of companies in it, but there are some new ones appearing, which is very interesting. And again, hopefully it means we get better and better tools available to us that kind of do the heavy lifting. But so ServiceNow, this was actually a new module that they implemented, wasn't it? The Major Incident Workbench.
Yeah, it's something that came on board with the New York version. So it was just a module that we needed to install, which gave you the extra functionality. So it's all there ready to use, basically. Depending on what package you subscribe to, but I think if you have the normal ITSM package, and I think it's part of that anyway. But yeah, it was a no-brainer for me to really want to utilize that, because again, it takes away having to think about how long have I got left, before I have to send the next comms out, or what is the next comms going to be. Again, it's all there. It's in my face. It tells me how long I have left. I just then click a button. It brings up a template. It pulls all the information off the major incident, and then I can just add in my next update, click send. It sends it. It stores it in the incident. But also, it allows me to then track, how well we're doing during our major incident. So it's a really good piece of functionality. that hopefully will help us improve our major incident performance.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, particularly your guys using that when we do some war scenarios and actually run some demo major incidents through it. It's going to be really interesting to see your thoughts afterwards. But it's been interesting hearing how taken you are with it and how impressed you've been with the ServiceNow module. Really interesting. So do you use any other tools for major incident management, any other communication tools? Is there anything else that you're using?
Yeah, we're using Microsoft Teams, and we use Teams for communication, and we use SharePoint for our document storage. And what's really interesting with Microsoft Teams there is you can almost use Microsoft Teams as your one-stop place for all communications internally and externally, and it's really open for some really interesting automation. So I was fortunate enough to speak to a senior Microsoft Teams developer from Microsoft based in America, and he was kind enough to spare me an hour or so of his time to talk me through this thing that he built, which was all around major incidents, and how he and his whole team at Microsoft used it purely to run major incidents using channels. And what he'd done is, from within their internal ITSM tool, would be when a major incident was raised, it would raise this channel in Microsoft Teams where everybody would gather. Everybody would communicate within there. So all of these resolver groups would be in there. It would post a link back into their ITSM tool, so everybody knew where to go to get to the chat level. You could start bridges straight away from there. With one click, you could invite external people in, and it just worked really, really well. And for a major incident manager to have all that in one place, again, trying to keep things simple and effortless for us, it's another no-brainer for me to really try and key into that. So I've had a play with ServiceNow and how that works. And again, the automation between ServiceNow and Microsoft Teams is quite mature now. So I've been able to raise a major incident in ServiceNow, and it's automatically raised the channel in Microsoft Teams, and it's all there. All the information's there. So there's a bit of work to be done. It will probably become a bit more mature in the hopefully phase 2 of the actual process, which again this new major incident manager will be driving. So I think there's going to be some really interesting pieces of automation that we can bring out of that, and then if you bring in Microsoft SharePoint into that as well, what I've created in SharePoint is a one page which has all the documentation, all the process documents. It's got all the templates to use in terms of bridge templates or communication templates. It's got all of the out of hours rotors. It has information around all of our fiber exchanges. It has all of our customer contact sheets in terms of who to call when it's a major incident. And again, you can access all of that directly through Teams, so you don't have to leave Teams to get access to that information. So those three tools link in really well with each other.